Coming up at 5 on the Evening Edition, we take a look to see how this crazy weather is affecting Southern Illinois.
Plus, an abduction case ends in shots fired, and President Trump plans to sign a bipartisan agreement. Live from Southern Illinois University, you're watching River Region Evening Edition. Marion police are investigating a robbery. Good evening, I'm Jacob Gordon.
And I'm Hannah Frisch. The robbery happened Monday morning after 9 at Power Gas on West Main Street. One male suspect was seen on surveillance wearing dark clothing and brandishing a weapon while demanding money. Anyone with information regarding the robbery are asked to call the Marion Police Department for more details.
After an anonymous threat was made to the Pope County School District, a suspect is now in custody. Yesterday, Pope County School District contacted the Illinois State Police after a student received an anonymous threat online. Police and officials with the Pope County School District were able to identify a suspect and has been taken into custody.
Well, I don't know about you, Jacob, today, but this was the first time I was able to wear sunglasses in almost 3 days, so it was a really great feeling.
It was a really great feeling. Madeline Parker is here now with the first look at weather. Madeline, are we going to be able to have the sunglasses out for the next couple days?
Well, you can have it out for a little bit because tomorrow it is going to be cloudy skies. So it might be getting a little bit of sun here and there, but not a lot. Tonight we'll have partly cloudy skies. It's going to be 43 degrees tonight, 44 in the morning. It's going to be warming up to about 51 around midday. If we can look ahead, we can see that it's going to be might be seeing some ice in the future, but we will be having a lot of high winds. I'll tell you more about that in my 5-day forecast.
All right, Madeline, thanks. Parts of the Midwest have seen many changes in the weather so far this winter.
Evening Edition's Patrick Cotto has talked to SIU students about this dramatic weather.
My mustache froze when I was walking to class.
It's crazy. It's like the other day was warm and now it's cold.
In the month of February, people expect cold temperatures, but here in Southern Illinois, it's a lot different.
Our winters are variable, and the reason being is that we're getting different sources of our air masses. So we may get a very cold, dry air mass followed by a relatively warm, moist air mass, and the mixing creates all different types of precipitation, not just rain.
As of January 30th, parts of the Midwest have witnessed record-breaking cold temperatures, including parts of central and northern Illinois, even though it was not a huge factor for southern Illinois.
This is pretty much normal for us to stay warm or stay cold for any long period of time during the winter is kind of unusual, and we probably need to have like snow on the ground that sticks around for a while before we're going to stay cold for a long period of time.
This crazy weather has brought rain, snow, and sleet, and not only is it a problem for the Midwest, but also a problem for the roads.
It's a little scary though. I don't know what's exactly happening, but yeah, I think it could have something to do with the salt deterioration coming through there. So yeah, it has been worrying me a little bit.
The Carbondale City Works Department is in charge of closing roads for flooding and fixing potholes, but they are reminding drivers to be aware of these situations.
I mean, there's always concerns as a driver, you know, whenever you're getting winter weather. I just caution drivers to slow down, take your time. You can usually get where you're going, but pay attention, drive slow.
And SIU students are using more caution when they get behind the wheel.
It was super slippery. I actually slid in my car and ran up a curb. That was kind of scary. And that was just pulling out of the parking lot, like I was idling out of the lot.
Officials say this time of year, drivers need to be ready for any type of weather.
If you're watching the forecast, be informed of what's coming, because we can rapidly go, as you know, from rain and lots of it to snow in a very short period of time, and vice versa. So the best thing to do is to keep yourself informed.
For Evening Edition, I'm Patrick Cotto.
SIU trustees will take up tuition and fee proposals for the next year when they meet in Edwardsville tomorrow. And SIU Carbondale's leaders are asking for a 0% increase. Interim SIUC Chancellor John Dunn says this represents a focus on the students, their ability to afford a degree, and the options available to them. SIU Edwardsville is also proposing no increase in its undergraduate tuition and is seeking a 3% hike in graduate tuition and a 2.9% increase in student fees. And the Illinois House Labor and Commerce Committee plans to hear how Democrats will raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. The plan would bump the current rate of $8.25 an hour to $9.25 starting January 1st, 2020, followed by a bump to $10 July 1st. It would then increase $1 every January 1st until 2025. Governor Pritzker, who hopes to sign it into law before his February 20th budget address.
A suspect in an abduction of Ohio State University student is dead alongside the victim in an officer-involved shooting. On Monday, the OSU Department of Public Safety reported a witness who saw Terrell Pounds with a firearm in the parking lot. He was seen forcing Skylar Williams into his car. Later on Monday in Louisville, Kentucky, troopers chased the car and matched the description and blocked it. As they moved to arrest Pounds, the trooper heard a gunshot and fired the weapons at Pounds. Pounds died at the scene, and Williams was struck at least once and was pronounced dead at the local hospital. And a dark anniversary comes tomorrow for an Indiana community as it marks 2 years since the day of the recovery of 2 teenagers' remains. The girls went missing while on a hike, and authorities are still hoping the clues left behind could lead to a suspect. The only clues left have been a photo of the suspect and an audio clip from Libby's phone. The case is still active after 2 years.
Ahead on Evening Edition, the U.S. debt hits a new high.
Plus, a robbery goes wrong in New York City. You're watching Evening Edition at 5. Welcome back. In national news today, President Trump said he intends to sign the latest border security deal and avert another partial government shutdown.
But he's not happy about it. Kristen Holmes has the latest from Washington.
President Trump signaling he'll sign a bipartisan deal to keep the government open.
I don't want to see a shutdown. Shutdown would be a terrible thing.
Despite not liking it.
I appreciate all the work the Republicans have done because they're really going against a radical left.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill sounding confident while tweaking the final proposal.
The overwhelming majority of the House Democratic caucus will support this legislation.
The agreement includes $1.375 billion for a border barrier, lower than the $5.7 billion President Trump originally demanded for the wall, and even lower than the $1.6 billion included in the Senate proposal rejected by the president in December. But Republicans are urging the president to sign off anyway.
I told him, I said, Mr. President, this is only a down payment on the wall. I said, they said you weren't going to get any money. We did get you some money.
The White House not making any promises on behalf of President Trump.
We want to see what the final piece of legislation looks like. It's hard to say definitively whether or not the president's going to sign it until we know everything that's in it.
Aides saying the president is continuing to weigh his options to fund the border wall outside of Congress, including taking executive action. In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
And the U.S. debt has hit a new record, $22 trillion. The data was released yesterday by the Treasury Department. The national debt has been rising at a faster clip since the 2008 financial crisis. That's when Congress and the Obama administration approved stimulus funding to prop up the economy. The debt began to level off at the beginning of President Trump's term, but it jumped up again after his 2017 tax cuts took effect. And a Missouri man led police on a chase into Illinois last night before dying in a shootout. Authorities say Leslie Austin kidnapped his girlfriend and their child. Austin also tried to carjack an innocent bystander who he shot and killed. When he reached Illinois, the shootout began between the suspect and police. Police say Austin was found dead after the chase. It's unclear if he died from a self-inflicted gunshot or from shots fired by responding officers. His girlfriend was taken to a hospital, but their child was not hurt.
And 2 NYPD officers attempt to stop a robbery goes wrong when one of them is killed through friendly fire. The scene took place yesterday night at a cell phone store in Queens. Detective Brian Simonson, a 19-year veteran with the department, was killed during the shootout. The injured sergeant who has shot Simonson was reported to be in stable condition that night.
Make no mistake about it. Friendly fire aside, it's because of the actions of the suspect that Detective Simonson is dead.
The suspect, described as officials as a career criminal, was taken to the hospital and is listed in stable condition.
In Florida, Manatee School of the Arts is the first school in the country to have armed guards carrying long guns. After last year's deadly school shooting in Parkland, Florida, all schools in the state have been required to have guards. But since Manatee School of the Arts is a charter school, the board can choose the weapon. Principal Bill Jones says he wants officials guarding the school to carry weapons that can immediately stop any potential intruder. Within Bristol, Connecticut, the district pays about $2 per student for a protection service called Social Sentinel. Social Sentinel is a program that scans social media for languages of harm, cries for help, and potential threats within a specific area. The CEO of Social Sentinel, Gary Margulis, wanted certain words and phrases to indicate people's possible violent situations to be found and reported. Gary hopes to avoid harmful situations such as school shootings.
And we have a recall alert for you tonight. Ford has issued 3 separate recalls affecting 1.4 million vehicles right here in North America. The recall impacts 2011 and 2013 F-150 pickup trucks with 6-speed transmission issues. Select 2017 to 2019 Lincoln Continental cars for improperly functioning door latches, and a safety compliance recall for the 2019 Ford Mustang, Lincoln Nautilus, and the Lincoln Navigator vehicles due to dashboard issues. Ford has reportedly 5 accidents potentially related to the recalls. And after more than a decade on Mars, NASA's Opportunity rover has completed its mission. NASA scientists lost contact with the rover back in June after a dust storm recovered Mars and prevented sunlight to reaching the solar-powered vehicle. They have not been able to get in touch with the vehicle since then. The Mars Exploration Rover sent back valuable information about the red planet for several years. Opportunity was launched in 2004, and during its time on Mars, the rover found parts of the planet suitable for sustaining a microbial life.
The sunshine and the warm temperatures return today, but how long is that going to stick around? Madeline has your forecast next.
But first, on Wall Street, stocks ended the day with positive results. The Nightly Business Report has more coming up next at 5:30.
Back to River Region Evening Edition. Here is a viewer photo sent in by Patrick Cotto, taken all the way in Cairo, Illinois. As you can see, the river is flooding over here a little bit, and that is because there is a river flood warning in effect. If you have a viewer photo you would like to send in, please send it to our Facebook or Twitter at River Region News. But for right now, here in Carbondale, it is cloudy, partly cloudy with 48 degrees. Our dew point is at 30 degrees. Our humidity is 50%, so it's actually pretty low, but that wind speed 13 miles per hour from the south, so it's very windy outside, and our barometer reads 30.07. If we look at our almanac, we can see that it's 51 degrees for the high today, which is only 5 degrees higher than our average of 46. Our low is 42, so that's significantly higher than our low, average low of 26 degrees. But for all around the nation, we can see that the color map, or all around the region, we have 45 degrees in Waterloo with partly cloudy skies. Carbondale, as I said, is partly cloudy with 48. Marion is partly cloudy skies with 47 degrees. Cape Girardeau and Paducah and Evansville were all bright and sunny with 48 degrees and 50 degrees and 44 degrees respectively. But all around the nation, we could see that it was starting to get a little bit warmer. Right now, we've been seeing that we've been in the green and the 40 degrees, but today we actually almost got into the 50-degree area. So we're starting to get a little bit warmer because we do have a warm front that is coming in. As you can see in this next map, we have a warm front coming in that is bringing in warmer temperatures. We are going to be seeing some more into the 50s over the next day. But for tonight, we can see that it is going to be about 42 degrees of partly cloudy skies. We have wind speeds that can be up to 20 miles per hour, so it's going to be very significantly windy. Southwest wind, it will be starting at 16 miles per hour, and the sun is setting at 5:33 p.m. Now for tomorrow morning, it's going to be 44 degrees with cloudy skies, and we have a southwest wind at 17 miles per hour. So it is going to be very windy, but not too cold out tomorrow morning. But tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be warming up to about 44 degrees, cloudy skies, wind speeds up to 25 miles per hour. They'll be starting at 19 miles per hour and coming from the southwest, and the sun is rising at 6:47 a.m. Now tomorrow night, it'll be 28 degrees with clouds early on, and they will be clearing out later on in the evening. Wind speeds will be dropping down to only 15 miles per hour, so that's some good news. They'll be coming from the northwest this time, starting at 12 miles per hour, and the sun is setting at 5:34 p.m. Now for our 5-day outlook. We can see that it's going to be 55 degrees for the high tomorrow, but on Friday, it's going to be dropping down to 32 degrees, and there's a very real possibility that on Friday night, we could be getting some ice. So be careful with that. Saturday will be warming up to 39 degrees. Sunday will be 40 degrees. And on Monday, we'll have a little bit more sunshine with 36 degrees for the high. So we had a warm front coming in, so it's going to bring some more warmer temperatures for today and tomorrow. but it doesn't look like they're going to be sticking around for very long.
Yeah, and hopefully the ice and snow doesn't stick around for very long, but it doesn't look like it will be since we are going to see a little bit warmer temperatures.
We are getting some warmer temperatures, but remember those lows are going to be below freezing, so we need to watch out for that. So just in case, we need to be watching out for more ice in case it sticks. So if you are driving, especially at night, watch out for black ice.
Exactly, especially if it freezes overnight too.
Of course.
All right, thanks, Madeline.
Thank you.
This year's sweaters and hot chocolate might be ideal Valentine's Day gifts for some Americans.
Because a vicious cold blast is sweeping across the U.S., bringing in plenty of snow and ice. John Lawrence has the story.
Wintry weather from coast to coast.
I'm ready for spring, there's no question about that. It can't come soon enough.
Roughly 75 million Americans are under some kind of winter alert this week, and inclement weather resulted in thousands of flight cancellations and delays on Tuesday. Among the states getting pounded with up to a foot of snow, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa.
Kind of hard outside, like the ice, but I kind of like it because it's like a little workout for me. But others may think it's not that good, but I kind of like it. I'm a snow guy.
In Chicago, falling ice forced city officials to shut down a couple of streets for safety reasons. Residents of the Northeast received various forms of precipitation, rain, freezing rain, and snow. Meanwhile, Mammoth Mountain in California is making the most of the snow. The ski resort is boasting 210 inches of snow and says its ski season will last at least until July 4th. Snow even landed in Hawaii, where some summits got a dusting. For those keeping watch, spring officially starts in just over a month.
Yeah, it's getting a little dreary. I will own that, but I do love the change of seasons.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Hopefully we don't get that much snow here. All right, now here's Tyler Zabri with a preview of what's coming up next in sports. Tyler?
Thank you, Jacob. I'll be previewing what the Saluki softball team faces in Mexico, plus an international story about the price of fame. This is River Region Evening Edition. The comeback that wasn't meant to be. After trailing by double digits in the second half, SIU closed it to within a point with under a minute to go, but Drake was able to hold on for a narrow 3-point win. Despite the loss, the Salukis remain in 6th place in the MVC standings with 5 games remaining, still within shouting distance of first place. The Salukis head to Terre Haute next, where they go for a sweep of the Sycamores of Indiana State. And continuing an impressive senior campaign, Saluki thrower Adam Kessler earned the MVC's Male Field Athlete of the Week for the 4th time this season. The honor comes on the heels of Kessler's 3rd shot put win of the season last Friday at the Bulldog Invite. Kessler currently leads the Valley in shot put and is 18th nationally. And softball is on the road again, taking part in the Puerto Vallarta Challenge in Mexico. The 3-day tourney will see the Salukis take on an SEC foe in Mississippi State, as well as other non-conference opponents in northern Colorado, Sacramento State, and North Dakota State. This is the second of 3 road tourneys for the Salukis before returning home to host 2 straight. And the Summer Olympics are only a year away, and host nation Japan has begun constructing the venues that will sport the events. What you'll see here is the construction of the Kasai Canoe Slalom Center, but the big story of the Olympics, the return of baseball. Dropped after the 2008 Games, the Cuban national team has traditionally dominated the event, winning 3 of the 5 times it's been an event. And in America, fame comes with a sea of fans, the paparazzi following your every move. But in Afghanistan, fame means a very different crowd follows your every move. 7-year-old Murtaza is known for his soccer skill, wearing a plastic bag as a jersey, and eventually met his hero, Lionel Messi. But now, his fame has made him a target of the Afghani Taliban for being part of the Hazara minority in Afghanistan, and the danger he faces forced him to flee his home.
The Taliban were killing our relatives, he says, and they were searching houses. They'd stop cars and kill their passengers, searching houses and killing people. I told my mother to take me somewhere else. We weren't allowed to play football by the Taliban or even go out of the house. We used to hear the sound of heavy machine guns and Kalashnikovs and rockets at home. We also heard people screaming. Then my mother decided to bring me here.
Murtaza's mother is still appealing for help to leave the country. Now that story is just simply tragic.
It's absolutely so scary. It's just like mind-boggling to me that that's still going on over there now.
You'd really hope there's just a line like, this kid is only 7 years old and all he wants to do is play soccer. He met his hero, and somehow that makes him a target for violence. It's unbelievable.
Well, hopefully he can overcome and become a star one day. I'd love to see him play in the big leagues.
I think we all would.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Tyler. Madeline has a final check of the forecast next.
But first, as we head to break, be sure to follow us on social media at River Region News and check out our website for more local content. We'll be right back. Finally tonight, an Illinois boy who was born without feet and a hand isn't letting it stop him from achieving his goals.
6-year-old Nick Trotter was born in Ukraine and adopted by Chris and Mindy Trotter. Nick's parents say he finds a way to do anything he wants, and he has found a love for wrestling. He currently wrestles for the Macomb Little Bombers and has participated in tournaments and has won twice.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And Madeline, how's the weekend looking?
Well, today it's going to be tomorrow's going to be about 55 degrees, but the weekend not looking so great. Friday might be seeing some ice later on in the evening, and it's going to be a high of 32 degrees, so it's going to be a high of freezing temperatures and a low of 24. Saturday it's going to be a little bit warmer, but not too much, and we're not going to be able to see any sun. 39 degrees for the high, 31 for the low. Sunday will be 40 degrees with a low of 26, and then Monday it's going to go back down to 36 degrees with partly cloudy skies. So we have a warm front. It made it a little bit warmer today. It's going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow, and then we're going to go back to being cold with and then some ice potentially.
So basically, you're telling me that I need to wait to wash my truck.
I'm very much telling you that. Might as well don't even try. It's going to be really cold, really nasty up for the next couple of days. So, you know what? I'm just wishing that it was spring.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Madeline.
Thank you for joining us tonight. The Nightly Business Report is next. I'm Hannah Frisch.
And I'm Jacob Gordon. For Madeline Parker, Tyler Zabi, and all the students who work on Evening Edition. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.